Well, Mike may not be getting his Caribbean on, but I am.
Hey, my Caribbean is always on, Joe. Always
So
on.
you must just be influencing me. Because, you know, I'm doing coconut and pineapple. It's
Lovely.
Kind of Caribbean, right?
Yeah. Hey, so you couldn't get 2 more Caribbean flavours there.
Yeah, OK, come on, expert. You can do the chopping of the pineapple for me then.
How do you want it chopped?
We probably don't need the whole thing. Let's just do about a quarter and small dice.
OK.
So basically, I'm just going to make a coconut custard. We're going to caramelise the pineapple. We're going to line our little muffin tray with the phyllo, fill them up and put them in the oven. Really easy. And I'll give you some tips for using phyllo because people get really worried about using phyllo, don't they? But actually, once you get used to it, it's something that is very, very easy, I think, to work with. So I'm going to use some coconut milk. I do love this particular brand of coconut milk because it doesn't have nasties added to it. So I'm just going to add a little bit into my custard powder, and I am going to cheat. I'm going to use a little shortcut by having custard powder.
I'm very surprised, Joe. I am very surprised, I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the ingredients going, what's that pink stuff?
Yeah, well, you know, it's just corn flour with some dried egg in there. There's nothing nasty. And actually, there's not sugar in the custard powder. You add your own sugar.
That's important, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to use some maple syrup to sweeten my custard here. So the trick with making custard is to make your paste first, and I put the rest of my coconut milk into the pan starting to heat. Just going to add a little bit of water and then use a whisk. So if you make a paste with the coconut milk and a little water while it's cold, this is going to help stop getting lumps into your custard. And this is whether you're using regular dairy milk or you're using coconut milk. Now, you're such a fast chopper.
Do you want some more?
Maybe a little bit more, just in case we run out. Do you think you have to do this? My mum always taught me, when you're making custard, do your paste, then you've got to heat, put some of the hot into the cold, then the cold back into the hot. Or is that old-fashioned?
Look, it is. It's all about avoiding the lumps again. And you should get a better result with doing it. It's not necessary. Like, as long as you whisk rather than stirring, you're fine. The biggest thing with making things like this is people stir. They just use the whisk in a circular motion. Whereas actually whisking, you should be drawing a figure of 8. So if you draw the figure of 8, you're actually breaking apart the powders faster, quicker, and it doesn't give the lumps a chance to really develop.
There we go. You see, I always learn, and you've saved me a little step there. So the paste is going straight into the pot, and we do a little figure of 8. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. OK, and I am going to just pop in my maple syrup as my sweetener. Now, why do I like maple syrup? Well, maple syrup and honey are 2 of the most natural sweeteners. All they've done with maple syrup is it's that sap from the maple tree. It's slightly thickened, so they get a bit of the liquid out, and then you get this glorious, wonderful flavour. And then you do just want to make sure you simmer it because there is corn flour in that custard powder. So all we're going to do is caramelise our pineapple, so a little bit of extra virgin olive oil into my fry pan here. OK, this is getting nice and hot, so I'm just going to pop my pineapple in there. I love pineapple.
I love pineapple. I'm literally just standing here eating it. It's so delicious.
So good. So good. And, you know, that's one thing I'm always asked about is fruit bad because it's got sugar in it? Honestly, whole fruit is natural sugar. Pineapple isn't just sugar, you know, those are natural sugars present. It's got fibre and vitamin C and bromelain and all these kind of really good things in there that we want. So never worry about having fruit. We should be having at least a couple of serves of fruit every single day. So what could be more delicious? I call it nature's sweet treat. Now, while that's cooking, we can get going with the phyllo. So a little trick for using phyllo, and this is just practice. I use this all the time. So then you get really confident with using it. Leave it in the packet until you're absolutely ready to go. And then I do have a little damp towel over there. The other trick is when you've got your phyllo ready, bring it out the packet, unroll it, and then the bits that you're not using, just keep covered with a damp towel, because if this dries out, that's when it all starts falling to pieces. So maybe I'll just pop this over here. Mike, could you just oil the tray for me to start? You're going to take one sheet, use your damp towel over the rest of the phyllo while you're working. Just work quite quickly when you're doing this. And what I like about it too is you don't have to be too fussy. Don't worry if it rips or because you're just going to be able to cover it up. So we're just going to fold it over, brush it again, fold it again. Can I just borrow this sharp knife that you've done? Cut it into that, and then that's roughly the the size you're going to need to fill one little muffin tin. And again, just be rough. Shove it in, make sure you stick it to the edges, and then just roughly crinkle up the edges over the top so that you've lined your muffin tin.
Love it.
That's it.
Simple.
Yeah. So basically, that's all we have to do is fill the muffins. We've got our custard ready. We've got our caramelised pineapple. Once you've lined your tin, we're ready to fill it, and then it's going to be popped into the oven. You were actually quite good at that, Mike, you know?
Oh, thanks, Jo.
You'd think he was professionally trained or something. All right, since you did such a good job with my pineapple, I'm going to get you to do that. So we've got our lovely coconut custard here into your ready-made lined tins. And then, Mike, I'll just get you to pop a few pieces of pineapple onto the top. And your only thing here is to work out how much to put in. Because I have done this where I've overfilled them and run out of custard before I got to the end, or not put enough in and then got extra at the end. Anyway, so put in just a couple of spoons of custard is my tip. So once you've filled all your little tarts, this is just going to go into the oven at 180 for about 20 minutes or so, just until you see the edges getting lovely and golden brown.
They look great.
They do.
They do.
Why do you sound surprised, Mike?
Well, I think it's the pastry, you know, how it's been folded. You've got elevation and height with that phyllo.
He's trying to talk himself up. You're trying to compare your phyllo parcels to mine.
No, it looks, and the smell is beautiful.
So what's really good about these are that you can either tuck in pretty much straight away, do let them cool just a touch because they can be so hot in the middle you're going to burn yourself, or turn them out onto a wire tray, let them cool completely, and then you enjoy them cold. But honestly, they won't last long in your house, I promise.
Do you know what? I've already got images of this beautiful tart, a nice dollop of vanilla ice cream. Oh, I think it would just be heaven.
Yeah. That's my coconut custard caramelised pineapple tartlets. They're absolutely beautiful, warm from the oven, or let them cool down and enjoy later.
I'm going to enjoy this right now.